Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's November 12th, 2019. I'm out in the coop area. The coop, I've gotten the citrus and the figs brought into the coop area this last week as well. Got a fencing up to keep the ducks out of this area. The ducks aren't in here yet. They're still enjoying the time out there in Pond 5. Large thermal mass of that water, even though it's below freezing temperatures now for a while. It's going to take a while for that pond to start to freeze over. Once a pond really starts to freeze over, the ducks will come right in here, and we'll house them over the winter months as well to protect them from the foxes and the coyotes. But what I wanted to share with you today is one of the projects that I've been working on over the last week, and that was since I have more plans to expand our perennial crops inside of the western garden plot, I wasn't able to sell as many of the black potted blackberry plants or the black currants and some pink currants and all, since those were still in the western garden plot in pots, and they've been in those pots for a full year now, and those pots were buried in the wood chips along the chain link kennel panels. I decided it's time to get those out of that area, repot the plants. So in other words, going to larger pots, because a lot of the roots were really extending to the margins of the pots that they were currently in. Add compost to the larger pots, transplant the potted plants into larger pots and fill them up with more compost. So there'll be some GoPro footage at the end of this showing that process. And once I had them potted up, we have to make sure that we protect those root balls from the really harsh winters here. Now, we live in Oswego, New York, a very cold temperate climate. It's zone 5A, but we get lots of overcast and lots of snow during the winter months. The curse of having all the snow is it's a hassle to deal with. The blessing of having all the snow, well, that really can add an insulated blanket to the surface of the ground, so we can protect a lot of the root structures if we get those pots buried below. So the root crown is really at about ground level, and so that's the goal. So they're going to be pretty much dormant. The roots will develop a little bit inside of the new pots that are there, as long as there's the insulation of the earth and the snow covering above it. So the plan was go get those pots all repotted up, dig them out first, then bring them over to an area. And what we did, we went over to the area where at the margin of a living fence where the black locust trees are, and near where the few dump truckloads of leaves that we recently got, that was on top of a Back to Eden about 5 foot to 6 foot deep of wood chips on top of a hugelkultur pit below that. So I went over there with Bumblebee, and I made a trench along the living fence line, just deep enough so that the 5-gallon buckets containing the plums, the peaches, the almonds, and the black walnut shelled seeds can all be buried completely. So we want it at the depth of a full 5-gallon bucket, so those buckets get buried, so they can have the number of chill hours necessary for a proper stratification of those shelled seeds, and also deep enough to cover the top of the pots from all the blackberry, black currants, pink currants, persimmons, and so on, getting all of those plants over there. So Bumblebee made the trench. We took all those potted plants in buckets, put them in the trench, bermed up the edges with the wood chips that we dug out of the area as well. Some of the area I took leaves and covered up some of it. I still have more to do, but the snow came already. I don't think that the root masses will get injured as a result of me not getting it completely covered up yet. But the buckets with the seeds are completely covered with the leaves at this point. So that's just one of the projects we've been working on this last week, doing lots of harvesting out of the gardens. I haven't got the tarps down yet, so we're looking forward to a thaw. Looks like next week we're headed for a thaw. We're just down 10, 15, 17 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which is below freezing. 32 degrees Fahrenheit is freezing. And I have a heck of a lot of other jobs to get done as well. But I thought I'd share this process with you. I think it's really important to get your sensitive plants like our figs that really can't handle this climate, get those inside of the building. Get our citrus inside as well. You can see there's some yellowing of the leaves. I've got a bit of a nitrogen deficiency and a magnesium deficiency here as well, and potentially even a potassium deficiency based on the yellow-green coloration and the height of the leaf problems as well. But that's something I'm addressing right now. And I thought I'd share with you one of the things that we've got to do in this cold temperate climate to get ready for the snow as well. So if you have any comments or questions, or you want to share your experiences living in a cold place and how you deal with protecting those plants that are sensitive as well, please leave them below. I think that'd be very valuable. If you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. And by all means, folks, have a great day. Bye-bye now.